The human need to explore is deep within all of us. Our ancestors crossed mountain ranges, sailed open oceans to map new lands, and sought out the unknown, while always looking to the stars. We're curious, and now we're at a place where we can pioneer new horizons. Now is the time.
Shepard has cleared the tower.
Look at our beautiful Earth, you guys.
To open the promise of space to all.
Guys, we're doing it!
And lay the way for generations to come. When our descendants look to the stars, they'll remember this time. When they reflect on where it started, they'll remember this place. And when they honor those first explorers who said, "Let's go," they'll remember these bold steps. We are of blue origin. And this is just the beginning.
Hey friends, and welcome to NS-38. I am Tabitha Lipkin, and I am thrilled to be joined today by the one, the only, Matt Donovan, who is the Senior Director of New Shepard System Architecture. Matt, thank you so much for joining us today.
Tabitha, it is so fantastic to be here. Today's going to mark our 38th mission overall, our 17th human spaceflight, and the first New Shepard mission of the year. An exciting way for us to get things kicked off in 2026.
It certainly is, and for everyone watching at home, New Shepard is all about expanding access to space and delivering a truly life-changing experience, whether you're young at heart, or just somewhere in between.
Yeah, so we've flown both the youngest and the oldest astronauts across the Karman Line, and what they all share is a powerful shift in perspective, seeing just how fragile and beautiful our planet really is, and why it's so important to protect it.
And that is what brings us to today's incredible crew. This distinguished lineup for NS-38 includes Tim Drexler, Linda Edwards, Alain Fernandez, Alberto Gutiérrez, Jim Hendren, and Laura Stiles. And today we have flown 86 individuals, and we are so excited to hit the 100 mark so very soon. And that's where we get to really dive in and talk about the crew. This is my favorite part of NS-38, is getting to tell you about them and where they are sitting. So first up in our first seat, we have Jim Hendren. Jim is a retired U.S. Air Force colonel, former F-15 fighter pilot, and past commander of the 157th Combat Operations Squadron with multiple overseas combat deployments. Additionally, Jim is the founder of Hendren Plastics Incorporated, a global manufacturing company, a master electrician, a general contractor, an FAA licensed airline pilot, and, get this, a dedicated public servant. He spent 15 years on the Brevet School Board and served in both chambers of the Arkansas legislature, including as Senate President pro tempore. A father of 4 and a grandfather of 12, Jim views this new Shepard flight as a natural extension of his lifelong passion for aviation, exploration, and service.
In seat 2 today, we have Tim Drexler. Tim is the former owner and CEO of Ace Asphalt, where he spent 40 years building the family business into a major civil contracting firm. In 2002, he was recognized with the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year award. After selling the company, Tim pursued his passion for aviation, becoming both a helicopter and airplane pilot. Outside the cockpit, he is an avid gardener, cook, mountain biker, and home automation enthusiast. Tim has been married to his wife Pam for 19 years. Traveling to space will be Tim's next great leap in aviation.
It certainly will. In seat number 3, we have Linda Edwards. Dr. Linda Edwards is a retired board-certified OBGYN whose 40-year career was dedicated to caring for women. Now, while working full-time after high school, she earned her bachelor's degree magna cum laude from Penn State University and later her medical degree from the Medical College of Pennsylvania. A traveler to more than 40 countries, a wildlife advocate, award-winning equestrian, and 2-time breast cancer survivor, she embraces her flight on New Shepard as the fulfillment of a dream 4 decades in the making for her. And she hopes that this flight will help inspire other women to reach for their dreams.
In seat 4, we have Alberto Gutiérrez. Alberto is an entrepreneur, technologist, and world traveler who has visited more than 100 countries across all 7 continents. In 2008, he began writing travel guides, which evolved into Suborbital, a leading tours and activities platform serving over 1 million travelers per month. His voyage on New Shepard offers a new vantage point from which to appreciate the world he has spent a lifetime exploring.
Let's talk about seat number 5. We have Alain Fernandez. Now, Alain Fernandez is an international real estate developer and investor whose 3-decade career reflects resilience, discipline, and a relentless drive to carve his own path. This after a difficult apprenticeship in industrial mechanics. Now, his early years as a scuba instructor across Europe and French Polynesia were then marked by a life-altering diving accident at the age of 22, after which he rebuilt his career through perseverance and entrepreneurial instinct. A dedicated athlete, Alan lives with his wife, stepdaughter, and a lively family of pets. He approaches this New Shepard mission as another opportunity to push himself to explore what is possible.
And the new 6th crew member joining the mission will be Laura Stiles, Blue Origin's Director of New Shepard Launch Operations. Dr. Laura Stiles received a bachelor's in engineering physics from the University of Kansas and a PhD from the University of Colorado at Boulder in aerospace engineering sciences with an astrodynamics and satellite navigation focus. She joined Blue in 2013, where she has worked in mechanical systems design, integrated vehicle test, and in launch operations as a capsule controller, Capcom, and crew member 7. Outside of work, Laura participates extensively in mentoring university-level and early career engineers. She is an avid adventurer and outdoor enthusiast in her free time, hiking, paddling, and competing in triathlons. Laura is also a skydiving instructor and holds 2 world records in large formation skydiving.
Matt, we are just so thrilled to have Laura flying here today. There is the entire crew of NS-38 who have named themselves Above and Beyond. Every crew has a special crew name, and that is theirs. But let's talk about what this moment means for Laura just for a second, because we're both friends of hers. You've been working with her throughout her entire career. Can you tell me maybe a little bit more about your memories of working with her?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, a couple things everybody at Blue knows about Laura. She brings energy and warmth to everything that she does. She is a positive light. Whatever role she takes on, she comes in, just lights up the room, and she has her dog Percy, who is part of New Shepard almost as much as Laura is. So much so that we even unofficially nickname one of our vehicles Percy after our mascot, her dog that's with her on all those amazing hiking adventures and exploration that she does.
Yeah, she is just such a beautiful soul, and I'm sure the crew of NS-38 is so excited to have her there with them in the capsule, considering her history. And another cool thing is Laura, there she is. Look how excited she is, smiling ear to ear. She's also going to be doing some experiments, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a unique opportunity to have somebody from Blue fly on this mission. So as we look forward in the future of New Shepard, she'll be able to do some demonstrations, explore some things on her way up during zero-G and on her way back to help inform how we evolve New Shepard into the future.
We are so excited for this entire crew of NS-38, especially for Laura. Godspeed. We are sending you so much love from behind the desk right now, and to everyone on this mission. But a cool thing we got to talk about is the mission patch. So the NS-38 mission patch pays homage to the crew and Blue Origin's vision. The symbols embedded include the people in the windows representing our crew on New Shepard's 38th mission. The Karman Line represents Drexler's ambition for space travel and viewing the final frontier. The diamond DA-42S symbolizes Gutierrez and Drexler's love of flying. And then we got to talk about the F-15, which symbolizes Hendren's F-15 Eagle, which both he and his son have flown.
Now, the stethoscope and female symbol represent the success and fulfillment Edwards has experienced in her medical career. A beacon of light piercing the atmosphere represents Fernandez's life motto: I beacon in the night, believe it, work toward it with strength and discipline. Laura Stiles is represented by a parachute, acknowledging her love of skydiving and world records.
Such an awesome patch they're created by our own Chris Chamberlain and Zoe Brinkley. They always bring the heat on these patches, and they look so, so good. Now, some of the individuals you're going to see on the ground helping our crew ingress, which they just did, and egress from the capsule, and this is for every mission, are our CM7s, aka crew member 7s.
So let's break that down. The crew that flies to space and back is a crew of 6. And CM7 is that additional crew member on the ground here to support them. Those crew member 7s are right there with the astronauts from the moment they arrive in Texas and lead them through the entire 2 days of their flight training.
For this flight, our CM7s are Sarah Knights and Jake Mills, but also Laura Stiles was a CM7 before taking on her role as the director of New Shepard launch operations. The CM7s are embedded in the mission, and they're the first to greet the crew once they return to Earth. So let's go ahead and take a look at these impressive individuals, our crew member 7s.
Command engine start. 2.
Crew member 7 is a very unique role at Blue Origin. And traveling to space is an incredibly life-changing experience.
Oh my goodness.
You want somebody who's guiding you through it that doesn't just understand the technical side of the rocket and the launch operation, but also has the soft skills to truly support you through this wonderful journey. That's why crew member 7 is so important. There are 6 people that fly on the New Shepard crew capsule. The 7th person is crew member 7.
We have 2 crew member 7s for each launch. One of the crew member 7s, they are with the astronauts pretty much 24/7. They are staying at the village. They're training them. We have another crew member 7 that serves as capsule communicator.
That's the person who is back physically in the control room and is actually talking to the astronauts when they're in the capsule.
Everyone on the crew member 7 team has to be comfortable in a really dynamic operations environment. You have to be unflappable in anything that might come your way. We have folks from NASA. We have world record holders for skydiving, a nuclear submarine officer. It's truly a very diverse set of people bringing unique skill sets to the table.
The most important role for crew member 7 is to instill confidence in the astronauts that we fly on New Shepard. And really that comes down to a very good training program. Safety is absolutely paramount to everything that we do here at Blue as we build this road to space.
We have a crew capsule mock-up where we run through full mission simulations.
Separation confirmed. You are free to unstrap.
So the only surprise on launch day is the incredible view outside of those windows. This is nuts! Where they can look at the Earth and be changed.
Oh, wow.
And bring that feeling back to Earth with an inspiration to protect the Earth. Because that's what we're doing this for. We are doing this for the benefit of Earth.
And you can even see Laura in that package, of course, expressing what it's like to be able to take so many other people on this journey across the Karman Line to lead them. And now she's going to do it herself and be just such a beacon of light for the New Shepard program, and to make sure other people really understand the effect that this flight has.
It's an amazing opportunity for her to get to do this and then share it with others.
Yeah, so big shout out to our team over at Launch Site 1. Did you know that New Shepard has flown 86 humans above the Karman Line? That is 12% of all people above the Karman Line. And after this mission, the total number of people flown on New Shepard will include 98 trips for 92 individuals. Okay, you're probably doing the math on that and you're like, wait, what does that mean? That is because 6 astronauts have come back for a second round.
Yeah, Tabitha, we're seeing so much success with our human launches because New Shepard really offers the astronauts that life-changing shift in perspective. We're now operating 2 human-rated vehicle stacks to better meet our customer demand, and we've got additional vehicles on the way later this year. And safety remains our highest value. We've built redundancy into every safety system we have.
And New Shepard is fully reusable. Its engine is fueled by highly efficient liquid oxygen and hydrogen, and during the flight, the only byproduct is water vapor with no carbon emissions.
It really is a pretty incredible vehicle that systems have flown 37 times, and hopefully today we're going to make it 38.
That is right. So Matt, while we have just about a minute and a half here, let's talk for a moment about the cadence and reusability of New Shepard.
Yeah, reusability was really that holy grail for spaceflight for so many decades, and then it became possible, and now it's just become a regular occurrence. And it's so exciting that New Shepard is part of that. There's so many factors that go into it. We talk about the economics, we talk about the technical challenges, but we don't talk as much about what it means to get a rocket back from space and how that allows us to inspect the hardware, to trend the data through the maintenance cycle, to go and make upgrades to the vehicle, and you start to understand each vehicle as its own personality. You understand when you only change one variable at a time, all of our engineers will know, you change one variable at a time, you're able to see how things change and trend. And that allows us to do that with these vehicles. For Tail 4, which is our propulsion module today, this is going to be at 17th flight. And for Nose 2, the capsule today, it's going to be at 16th flight. And so it gives you an idea of how much we've been able to evolve these over time.
And for those who don't know, how difficult is it to land a booster? I mean, for us, it's become so commonplace, right? New Shepard, we're on its 38th mission, but it's not easy.
It really isn't. Really paved the way, DCX, programs like that gave us the technology, but a fantastic job by our nav and automation team figuring out how to go do that and expand it to other programs too at Blue.
Awesome. Well, let's take a moment. We're going to toss it back over to the rocket at about T-minus 9 minutes as we await NS-38. And we've entered a brief hold here while we wrap up final preps for launch. Right now, you've got a couple of our cams there looking at New Shepard out on the pad. We're going to go ahead and toss it back over to the rocket just for a moment, get some information on this hold, and we will continue with the show. While we are waiting in this hold for the launch of NS-38, it's not often that I have someone like Matt Donovan with me here on the desk who can talk all things New Shepard. So first, Matt, I want to talk about the crossover between the New Shepard program and our New Glenn program.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's some really foundational concepts, right? So one, New Shepard, liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen powered vehicle, right? And we've really made the investment at Blue over time to learn how to build engines that can operate with liquid oxygen, liquid hydrogen, how to do the ground operations, and that is then able to be used on the second stage of New Glenn and really built the foundation for that capability there. Also, we talked about the reusability, we talked about landing rockets, right? And so all the way from that second mission of New Shepard, where we were able to successfully land, to the second mission of New Glenn, where we were able to successfully land it on the barge here recently, all the guidance, navigation, control algorithms, how you manage all the propellants in the vehicle during those descent phases, how those engines are deeply throttleable to be able to give you that capability to land the vehicle back. All of those technologies are extensible, and it goes beyond the things that you see on the webcast. There are avionics platforms that we have that are common between the two vehicles that we've been able to get flight experience on for New Shepard, share those things with New Glenn. And that's all the fun technical stuff. The other part is you've got to operate the rocket, right?
Right.
And so we have our great crew down in Texas right now that's sitting on console getting ready to launch. And we've taken many of those operations folks, been able to share those lessons learned with New Glenn. One of our flight directors for New Shepard sits on console for first New Glenn launch, right? And so how you manage that launch crew, how you get through the countdown, all those are the types of lessons learned that we're sharing from New Shepard to New Glenn and really set them up for the tremendous success that they've had on their first two flights.
So I actually got the extreme privilege of chatting with Megan Lewis, launch director over for New Glenn. And what was so cool about that is she told us about this tradition you have of Wile E. Coyote. And that actually went over from New Shepard all the way to New Glenn. For our viewers, can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I will say the first time I sat on console, I saw that WEC in the procedure, and it took me a minute to figure out what it was, but it's great that they've carried that over.
It really, really is. So if you're just joining us, we've talked a little bit about the crossover between New Shepard and New Glenn and how New Shepard is foundational to everything we do here at Blue. You might be noticing that our hold has been lifted. We're about 8 minutes and 30 seconds before we see NS-38 cross that, lift off to cross the Karman Line. And as we count down from that, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about a couple of things that have to do with New Shepard. And in order to do that, I'm going to toss over to
capsule.
Oh, good. We've got the go pole.
Booster.
Let's listen in.
Go. Ground.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
Safety.
Go.
Capcom.
Go.
Engineering.
Go.
Copy all goes. New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence the terminal count. Welcome to flight. Controllers, drop UHF voice.
We love to hear that, Matt. We are a go for launch. How are you feeling right now? What are you typically doing in this moment?
So it was a great replay of our go pull. Typically, I'm on our mission management team, so I'm sitting there in the back room down there making sure we're getting through all of our flight readiness reviews, that things are going well on the countdown. If anything comes up, we're there to help the launch team get through that. So it was great to hear them get through that terminal count go pull. And I want to say it's great to be here because we've got Mike Marhill down there covering for New Shepard today.
Hey, shout out to Mike right now, who is out in West Texas. And of course, NS-38 will take to the skies and beyond from Van Horn, Texas. So while we have a moment, let's actually take a closer look at the town home to New Shepard's team out west.
Two hours east of El Paso sits Van Horn, population 2,000. This small town lies on an isolated edge in the high desert of West Texas, with epic views in every direction. Breathtaking sunsets, a seemingly endless horizon, hiking trails, untouched lands, and natural beauty. It's our home away from home, and when we're here, we get to take part in the local culture. And on launch days, locals get a glimpse of New Shepard as it blasts towards the stars. This is the home of New Shepard. 20 miles north of Van Horn's Main Street, Blue Origin occupies a majestic valley as far as the eye can see. Texas has always been at the forefront of human space exploration. It was home to mission control for the Apollo moon landings, and it's where astronauts have trained for decades. Now, this rich history is being passed to a new generation of astronauts. West Texas has been the site of every New Shepard mission to date. And it's where the journey to space begins.
I love it every time I have the opportunity to go out west to West Texas, whether you're, having a drink at the El Cap or hiking Guadalupe Mountain, the tallest point in Texas. I know it's one of your favorite places to go out and visit too, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit more as we are about T-minus 5 minutes until the launch of NS-38. Let's go through the flight profile and go a little bit more in depth on this experience for our astronauts.
Yeah, so in this animation here, you can see that BE-3PM engine firing. That's going to take the propulsion module and capsule away from our launch site there in West Texas. We get through max Q, that period of maximum dynamic pressure. And as the vehicle heads up, we get to main engine cutoff. We shut down that engine. The vehicle coasts up into space. We get that separation, and then the astronauts can unbuckle and enjoy their amazing zero-G experience looking out over the Earth and space. Now, the propulsion module and the crew capsule are actually two different shapes. That's on purpose, so that aerodynamically, that PM, that propulsion module is going to come back more quickly. We get through the aerodynamic surface deployment, and then at what seems like the very last second, that engine fires, those landing gear come out, and the PM comes back to Earth. Now, the crew capsule with that gumdrop shape is going to come back a little bit slower than the propulsion module is. So the astronauts are going to strap themselves back in, and as they re-enter the atmosphere, we're going to get to the point where we deploy the drogue parachutes, which slow the vehicle down, get it oriented for those main parachutes to deploy, and then we get a chance to see those beautiful three main parachutes deploy before the retro thrust system slows them down for landing.
And you can see the entire flight profile right there on your screen. It is so great to be able to provide such a great flight for our astronauts, getting 3 minutes where they can look out those big windows, some of the biggest ever flown in space. Now, Matt, I also want to talk about what's different, and that's right now, it's cold in Seattle, it is cold out in Cape Canaveral, and it is cold out in West Texas. So what are some of the things that we do to winterize the vehicle?
Yeah, that was actually part of our selection of our T0 time for today, is that it is cold, and we talk a lot about the rockets, but less about those ground systems. So we've got commodities that are on the ground that have to be conditioned before they get fed to the vehicle. We've got pressurants on the vehicle that we're always looking to make sure that we get the right density. So for our engineers, again, you're looking at that pressure, that temperature to get the right density of things like gases on the vehicle. And then we have that environmental control system on the ground. And we need to make sure and turn that up a little bit, warm things up in the capsule for when our astronauts get in there and get ready for their trip to space.
You might notice on your screen we have entered another hold at just under T-minus 3 minutes. But let's continue this conversation, Matt. So what is something that we actually do in the summer versus what we do in the winter?
Yeah, one of the other interesting things is that we're also looking at things like upper level winds. We're looking at thunderstorms in the afternoon. So during the summer, you'll notice we tend to launch earlier in the day, a little bit cooler, both for launch and then also for all of our recovery operations. And then we're also looking for all those upper level winds, trying to trend those, everything that the vehicle has to fly through on its way up and its way back down. And you actually see those shift seasonally throughout the year.
All right, so we're about T-minus just under 3 minutes as we are in a hold for NS-38. Again, the crew of NS-38 is Tim Drexler, Linda Edwards, Alain Fernandez, Alberto Gutiérrez, Jim Hendren, and Laura Stiles. In this moment, we're going to toss it back over to the rocket, get a little more information, and come back to you guys. NS-38. You've got a great shot there from our drones of New Shepard out on the pad. We are currently in a hold just under 3 minutes to launch. Now, one thing I want to chat with you about, Matt, is that New Shepard has incredible windows. I mean, these are some of the largest windows ever flown in space, designed to give our astronauts that incredible panoramic look down at Earth. Tell us a little bit more about how those kind of compare to the Mercury capsule windows.
Yeah, you're actually getting a chance on your screen right now to see a bit of the side-by-side comparison between those New Shepard windows and those Mercury capsule windows. Totally different perspective looking out those amazingly large windows that we have. One of the things that we get feedback from the astronauts about as well is that it's not just one window. When you look out across the capsule and you can look through multiple windows, you get to see the entire panorama of the Earth and space. And so we find that most of our astronauts do tend to spend that time looking out their window, looking at space, looking at the Earth, but also just one quick glance across the capsule and they can see an amazing view that you can't see anywhere else.
Matt, you've been with the New Shepard program quite a long time, and I know you've had a chance to chat with some of our astronauts who have taken these flights. What did they say about what it's like for them to look out those windows and then take those images back with them mentally after their flight?
You know, I think one of the most insightful pieces of feedback that we get from our astronauts is that the view of Earth is amazing and that thin little blue line of atmosphere is really indescribable. But the one thing that surprised me the most is that the astronauts talk about the blackness of space in contrast. That it's truly a shade of black that nobody has yet been able to put words to. And so while they're excited to look down and see the Earth and see what's below them, it provides an amazing contrast and perspective seeing that against that black darkness of space.
Yeah, I've heard that many a times where you see, you know, this ball, this little blue ball that everything and everyone you love is in this space. It is this beacon of life in our atmosphere, in our solar system, and our atmosphere is what really just keeps everything together, and going beyond that is just such an incredible experience. So if you're just joining us, you are watching NS-38. We are at a hold just under 3 minutes until launch. We're going to toss it back over to the rocket and be back with you shortly. We're watching NS-38. We're at a hold at just under 3 minutes until launch. We do have an update for you, and that is that there are unauthorized personnel on the range. Our security is currently working to clear that, and then we will have NS-38 ready to go across the Karman Line.
And at this point in the countdown, the vehicle, the ground systems, they're in a stable configuration while we wait for that to take place. And once that's resolved, we'll look to get back into our countdown.
Well, Matt, again, it is such a pleasure to have you here with me on the desk. And since I have someone like you can give myself and our viewers a little more insight on your role. So I want to know a little bit more about what your day-to-day is like working with the New Shepard program.
Yeah, so my day job, responsible for system architecture, you can think about it as helping define what is New Shepard capable of doing. So, hey, we take 6 people to space. We get up to about 350,000 feet. How do we do that? I'm responsible for defining all of those types of things. I'm responsible for making sure that our ground systems, our propulsion module, our crew capsule, our operations crew, all those things all work together, that it all, when we get to a day like today on launch, that all those things work seamlessly together. I've got a fantastic software team that's part of my group that builds all the flight software, ground software, guidance, navigation, and control, the labs that we test all those things in, and several other folks on my team that bring all the rocket parts together. And then at the end of the day, I'm responsible for our human flight certification. So what is our standard for making sure that we're in a place to go fly people? Are we meeting that standard, and are we ready to go launch? So it keeps me busy on a day-to-day basis.
How did you get into this?
Great question. I've had the opportunity to work on launch vehicles my entire career, so whether it's been sending probes to Mars, to Pluto, to the moon, and then the opportunity to come here at Blue, one of the things that I've found is that I am just truly passionate about human spaceflight. The opportunity to see the impact that this experience has on people and to be able to broaden that perspective to so many folks that otherwise wouldn't have the chance means New Shepard is the best job in the world.
Where did that passion come from? What lit that fire for you?
So one of the things I truly appreciate is the history of spaceflight, right? So we just looked at those Mercury windows, and you think about Alan Shepard, John Glenn, all those folks, and just what it was like for those first people to go to space.
Right.
And you see the expansion of that through the Apollo program. There's a reason why 50 years later, we still talk about those moon landings, right? And so excited that we're going to be going back to the moon and making those same types of memories for another generation. And so to be able to carry that legacy of technical achievement and on impact on humanity forward into this next generation, it's a fantastic opportunity to do that.
I want you to know, Matt, that if anyone else was sitting next to me and we were talking about you, every single person would talk about what just an incredible human you are to work with and how knowledgeable you are. When I first came to Blue, you and I got to set up a one-on-one. We had an hour, and you took me through the vehicle, the history, I mean, everything. Our own Joel Eby, he was like, hey, you got to talk to Matt. He's going to get you squared away so you know everything about New Shepard. And I did. I walked away from that conversation just like enthralled with everything that this program does. But you also, as we mentioned, get to work with Laura Stiles, who is, of course, a part of the crew of NS-38. Tell me a little bit about Laura's role.
Yeah, so on a day-to-day basis in Laura's role, she's responsible for the operations team. And so that means personnel like our booster controllers responsible for our countdown we're getting through today, capsule controllers, ground controllers. She has an entire training team. Days like today don't happen without the fantastic training that Matt Loomis and the rest of our training team puts the crew through for simulations to understand, hey, we run into a hold. How do we all respond? Are we all ready for those types of situations? Works with our flight directors, so the folks making the ultimate decisions on day of launch. She's responsible for managing that entire team, not just to get ready for every launch, but how we evolve it, how we make it better. I think that's one of the things that I truly appreciate about being on New Shepard, is that we're always looking to improve. Today being our 38th launch, it's been amazing to see the growth in the team since my first launch, which was our 7th, over the last 30 launches here to get us to a day like today.
If Laura watches this webcast back after her launch, what is one thing that you want to say to her, that you want her to hear from you directly?
I think one of the things that I hope she knows is just how excited everybody at Blue is that she is getting to have this experience. As I've talked with folks, you know, it's a very special privilege to get a chance to go, and everybody is like, oh, I'm glad it's Laura.
Yeah.
Laura, the way that she interacts with the team, the way that she cares about people, the way that she approaches every situation with humility, and how she fills in whatever needs to get done. That's one of the great things about Laura. When I got the opportunity to train as a pretend astronaut. I still have the memories of her coming, rushing through the desert, running to make sure, like, are you guys okay, as we were pretending to, you know, have landed, right? And so just the passion and energy that she brings to everything, I hope everybody knows that.
For our viewers who might be like, what do you mean pretend astronaut? Do you want to describe that?
Absolutely. So one of the other pieces of great feedback we get from our astronauts is just how well the training over the 2 days before launch prepares them for their experience. Well, again, just like we talked about training our launch crew, we got to train our trainers.
Right.
So we've talked about these crew member 7s. And so these crew member 7s also have to go through a training and certification process before they're in those roles to go do that. So Jake Mills, our crew member 7 for today, he went through that training and certification. Sarah Knights does a fantastic job leading that team. And so they've got to practice on somebody. So we have, we call them astronauts, N-O-T-S at the end, for the folks that are not actually going to space, but several of us have had the chance to participate, and we're there to help train the trainers, to give them feedback, to challenge them so that no matter what the experience is, they're ready to go and give our customers an amazing time.
Yeah, and you can see our astronauts of NS-38 today. This is some of the footage of the training that they've gone through over the past 2 days, practicing everything, making sure they know all of the steps for the day. Such a critical part of the mission as well. And I know our director, Sal, who is at home, actually, he is awaiting his 3rd child who might be born today. We have to give a shout out to him. He is the one who makes sure that we always have such great footage over the 2 days of training. We work with our teams down in Texas, and then we're able to deliver that here on our webcast. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Director Sal right now. We are so excited for you and your entire family. While we're still in this hold, we're at T-minus just under 3 minutes. We're going to toss it back over to the rocket and be back with you guys shortly. All right, friends, welcome back. We are waiting for the launch of NS-38. We're currently in a hold at T-minus just under 3 minutes. We expect just a couple more minutes of a hold to clear the range. But while we're in this hold, I want to talk about something that you briefly touched on, Matt, and that is one of the most significant aspects of a New Shepard flight is the profound effect it has on the astronauts who experience it and the ripple impacts it has on their lives and the lives of those around them. This transformative experience is often referred to as the overview effect.
Yeah, so the overview effect is really a cognitive shift reported by many astronauts who have viewed Earth from space. This phenomenon encompasses a range of emotional and intellectual reactions, some of those including just an overall sense of unity, having the ability to observe the Earth without any national borders, which fosters a deeper sense of global unity. Some people report just seeing the fragility of Earth. Many astronauts report that that thin layer of atmosphere I mentioned earlier and the finite resources become starkly more apparent when they're looking out those windows, and it really helps emphasize the need for environmental stewardship. Some report just overall personal transformation, that it just has a profound change in their perspective on life, leading to a greater appreciation for the planet and a renewed sense of purpose back here on Earth.
And that's such a huge part of what we do, of course. It's the impact that New Shepard's and the flight has on astronauts. After a journey aboard New Shepard, it's just more than a physical adventure. It's really a journey of self-discovery and profound insight. The experience, it often leads to like this heightened sense of awareness, like this greater consciousness of global issues such as climate change, poverty, and conflict. There's also this sense of inspirational leadership. Like many of the astronauts return with, I guess what you call like a renewed mission to contribute positively to society, often becoming advocates for space exploration and environmental causes. And then, you know, finally, there's like this emotional reconnaissance, like seeing, as you mentioned, like this beauty and this fragility of Earth from space that can really evoke a powerful emotion, leading to a deeper connection with the planet.
There's one astronaut who can speak to this that some of you might recognize, and that astronaut is William Shatner.
Yeah, so let's hear from him directly about his experience.
Oh my God. Oh, wow. I can't believe this. Everybody in the world needs to see. There is Mother and Earth and comfort, but what you see is black. Oh, God. I hope I never recover from this. I hope that I can maintain what I feel now. I don't want to lose it. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. Jeez. Oh my God. It was unbelievable. Oh, I'm telling you.
Just a profound effect. All right, so we're T-minus just under 2 minutes until NS-38 takes to the skies across the Karman Line. And right now, the vehicle's going through a series of bit checks.
Yeah, now that we're back into the terminal count sequence, you can see the bridge retracting right there. We've retracted the sunshades, and that gets it out of the way for the vehicle to fly by at launch. And then these built-in tests go through and look at key systems like the aft fins, like the thrust vector control, make sure that we get through all of our slews of those systems, get to our limits, and that we've got a healthy vehicle before we fly.
That's it. So as those checks are going on, we're going to toss it over to the rocket so you can listen in to the voice of mission control on these built-in tests. All right, at T-minus just under 40 seconds.
Propellant tanks are at flight pressures.
You can hear that the propellant tanks
Switch
are
to
in
onboard
the green
helium.
zone.
Thrust termination system is armed. T-minus 25 seconds.
All right, it is time to launch this rocket.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command is start. 2, 1, 0. feet. Crew capsule passing 11,000 feet.
All right, New Shepard has
Medium throttle
cleared
down
the
for
tower.
Q limiting.
take a look on your screen. On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll be able to follow along with our telemetry, giving you altitude and speed. And then on the bottom right-hand side of the screen, you'll be able to see how far we are into NS-38's flight.
Mach 1 vehicle is supersonic. Engine back to full throttle. Chamber pressures look good.
Wow! Supersonic!
You are hearing our astronauts from inside the vehicle.
Astronauts experiencing max ascent Gs. Begin throttle down, stand by MECO. MECO confirmed.
MECO is main engine cutoff.
Stand by separation. Stand by. Separation confirmed. Start your GoPros. Start your GoPros.
You'll notice the telemetry graphics have split.
Capsule body rates look good.
One for the booster, one for the capsule to follow their respective journeys.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Wow.
3 minutes, 10 seconds into flight.
Oh, oh, God. Wow. Wow.
Capsule has passed the Karman Line.
Really round. It is flat. It's flat. No. I can see the moon.
Capsule apogee at 350,000 feet. Four minutes, 25 seconds into flight.
Despite the clouds, we've got a nice long-range shot of the capsule and the booster.
1 minute warning.
That
Capsule
1
body
minute
rates
warning
look good.
is for our astronauts, knowing that they have 1 minute before they need to get back and buckled into their seats to return to Earth.
Booster descending past 300,000 feet.
The booster will land about 2 miles north
returning to seats
of where liftoff was.
Booster descent nominal.
The booster, of course, returning first because of the aerodynamic shape. And to give our astronauts just a little more time to enjoy.
Booster forward fins deployed. Capsule has reached atmospheric pierce point.
You were taking a look from a camera on our booster, pointed back down towards West Texas.
Astronauts experiencing max G.
Just over 6 minutes into NS-38. New Shepard's 38th launch.
Booster drag brakes deployed.
Nice infrared shot there.
Approaching engine restart. Engine restart. Landing legs deployed.
And she's
Booster
back.
touchdown. Welcome home, New Shepard booster.
Welcome home, Tail 4.
Big shout out to our friends in Kent, Texas, Huntsville, and of course Florida, who are all watching.
Starting booster auto-safing.
A little bit of a cloudy day out in West Texas as the cold front is moving in, but a beautiful shot of Tail 4 coming back into land. Again, 2 miles north from the launch pad. We're about 8 minutes into NS-38, New Shepard's 38th flight.
Stand by, capsule drogue.
We are looking to require a picture, there it is, of the capsule.
Capsule drogue deployment. Stand by mains. Capsule mains deployed.
There you have it, 3 beautiful main chutes.
Capsule mains inflated.
I know those shots out in space are incredible to see with your own eyes, but
Capsule
I tell
body
you,
rates look good.
looking out the windows over West Texas ain't bad either.
Blue Control, we're getting a thumbs down from Elvis.
Capsule landing zone is within expected range limits.
Blue Control copies.
Just under 1,000 feet to land.
Capsule descending past 1,000 feet. TDS enabled.
Stand by
Approaching
touchdown.
retro thrust fire.
Stand by touchdown.
Capsule touchdown. Welcome home, NS-38.
Welcome home above and beyond. A great touchdown there. The retro thrust system doing exactly what it's meant to do, puffing up that West Texas dust and slowing down the capsule to about 1 mile or 2 before landing. An incredible day to fly. Right now, the team is actually heading out in a convoy to, of course, greet our astronauts at the landing site, and that's when they're going to begin to safe the capsule and get ready to open the hatch. After that, we're looking forward to hearing directly from our astronauts about their experience. Now, Matt, for our viewers who might be tuning in for the first time, can you explain what it means to safe the capsule?
Yeah, there's actually, again, New Shepard, an autonomous vehicle. So there's actually autonomy built into the capsule. We call it auto-safing, that once the capsule lands, we make sure that pressures are vented, we make sure that ordnance is safed, that essentially it's in an acceptable configuration for our recovery crew to get out there. They'll get the capsule grounded in case we built up any static charge on the way to space, and then that way we can proceed with the rest of the recovery operations and give the astronauts chance to have that special moment of coming out of the capsule.
Yeah, and get to, embrace their friends, their families, their loved ones, our CM7s, lots of hugs all around there. Let's also take a moment and talk about, something that you can give a lot of insight on while we wait for crew egress, and that is how New Shepard is foundational to kind of everything we do here at Blue.
Yeah, I talked a little bit earlier about why I love working on New Shepard and it being a human spaceflight program. And I think fundamentally Blue is a human spaceflight company, right? And New Shepard is really that first step. Now we're pursuing putting people on the moon, right? So it's amazing to see putting people in the desert in West Texas. That is the next step for Blue. So there's really that key foundation relative to our lunar programs and it being a human spaceflight company. And we have people that helped design the inside of the capsule, working on designs for the inside of our lunar landers and taking all that experience and knowledge across. We talked earlier about reusability, just foundational to what we do here at Blue, about bringing down the cost of space and putting reusability into our launch vehicle systems. And so that whole idea of the second New Shepard booster landed, the second New Glenn booster landed. And for those that watch closely, those landing maneuvers looked pretty similar between the NS2 and NG2. And there's a couple of key folks, be it Brian or Mark, those types of people that actually helped develop those landing algorithms and took that knowledge and experience over to New Glenn to help develop those landing algorithms for bringing vehicles back. Our thermal protection system that we have on the base heat shield for the propulsion module, that is actually the same thermal protection system that's used on New Glenn. And we got experience with that thermal protection system, how it works and how it changes over time on New Shepard before we got to flying New Glenn. And now you see it in much larger acreage on New Glenn. And so there's really that learning for us to be able to take technologies on New Shepard and pass those things along. We bring a booster back to Earth, and so you get that great view coming down. Landing sensor technology, right? Same thing for that ability to take those things over to our lunar landing programs and be able to use a lot of those same algorithms for detecting the landscape to support how you land the vehicles. All those types of things are pieces we've taken from New Shepard that make the future of Blue more of a reality.
And we've got our lander on the way to Texas right now, our lunar lander on the way. So something to be looking forward to there. If you take a look on your screens, you're going to notice we've got those Rivians going out to meet our crew to save the capsule. But while we wait for capsule egress,
let's just take a moment and talk about the impact of this experience. So we've talked about how a flight on New Shepard doesn't just take you to space, it changes the trajectory of your life.
And to show you what that looks like, let's hear directly from astronaut Katya Echazarreta as she shares, how her New Shepard mission changed her life.
As the first woman from Mexico,
my flight really truly was the catalyst for everything that I've done since then. Since my flight, one of the most important things for me was developing a nonprofit called Fundación Espacial. We aim to develop and create space-related training educational opportunities for students who are studying in Mexico. I have met with 2 Mexican presidents. We've been able to work on the development of a plan for aerospace in Mexico moving forward. I truly think that the work that we are doing is changing a country. You think you understand what it's like to live a day until you leave this planet, until you see the blackness of space or the blue of our atmosphere. And that's like being born again.
So really a transformative experience for her. Again, you are currently tuned in to NS-38. We are currently waiting for egress. You can see the capsule there in the desert, and our crew, there they are in those Rivians, heading out to save the capsule, which means we have just a little bit of time. And in this time, we get to talk about one of my favorite parts of Blue, and that is our nonprofit Club for the Future, which is focused on inspiring the next generation through space. And one of the coolest things that Club does is they send postcards to space and back on New Shepard, created by space enthusiasts and partners from all over the world. Now, today's NS-38 mission is carrying more than 20,000 postcards beyond Earth, including personal messages that represent, who we are and what dreams are and the dreams that individuals have for the future.
So just like we've done on past missions, today's astronaut crew created their own postcards to take with them to space. Every time we fly astronauts, each crew member designs a postcard, something that's really personal to them and makes their journey beyond Earth special. Let's take a look at those postcards.
Yeah, this is kind of foundational to the experience. Having something like this that you make, something creative that you take with you to space and you bring back. This is something also I know that you've done and your kids have done as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see their postcards there. You got to decide, do you want crayons? Do you want colored pencils? There's so many decisions
Sharpies.
to make. Exactly. But yeah, my kids have made postcards. They've taken them to space. I was able to bring my son's middle school robotics team for a tour of Blue. They all made postcards. And it was amazing to be able to get them on the rocket, bring them back to them, and just seeing, even the teachers' reactions of like, I get a chance to participate in this, and it really connects people with the mission of what we're doing here at Blue.
Yeah, you get to send something to space, and there's many ways to do this. This is something that anyone and everyone can do. We also have a really cool, I like this feature as well. It is a digital postcard tool that makes it super easy. There's Laura with her postcard. You can send your artwork to space, and if you want to do that and you're like, this is definitely something I want to do, or I know someone who wants to do, go over to draw.clubforfuture.org.
This is really a great partnership because Club for the Future is all about inspiring and mobilizing future generations to pursue their careers in STEAM, be it science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and doing that all for the benefit of Earth.
When I was in high school, I was working to build a rocket for a target altitude competition.
My mom took me to an observatory opening, and I got to see the rings of Saturn through a telescope.
Growing up, I was just not very good at doing school. I wasn't really good at doing homework.
There was a teacher at my school, Mr. Cullen, and we spent hours together after school. I would be building a rocket in the back of his class, and that was incredible for me.
I had a chemistry teacher who also taught astronomy, sparked that interest in me. She went outside the lines of what I believed a science person should be.
It helped jumpstart a passion where I am now a propulsion engineer launching rockets.
If a teacher like that could help a student like me and pull me to this career, it just makes me think, what can I do to help inspire the next generation?
And that was life-changing for me.
And that's what Club for the Future is really all about.
Club for the Future! At Club for the Future, our mission is clear: to inspire and mobilize future generations to pursue careers in STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and all for the benefit of Earth.
We're here to create meaningful experiences that spark curiosity and ignite passion.
We're teaming up with educators to make learning an adventure by creating space-based lessons for K-12 students.
If we want to see millions of people living and working in space, space should look like all the populations of Earth.
Our goal is to make learning about space more accessible for all. So we've joined with others to reach underrepresented students and underserved communities.
But it's not just about what happens in your classroom. As Blue Origin's Club ambassadors, we're here to share our expertise and inspire students through speaking opportunities, events, and mentorship.
Also, with our Postcards to Space program, kids can connect with the vastness of space and the future of our planet.
Draw your vision of the future or write any message you want on a postcard and we'll launch it to space and back on a New Shepard rocket.
Your postcard will be stamped, flown to space, and returned to you as a unique keepsake.
So let's go. Let's dream big, reach high, and build a future where the possibilities, they're as endless as the stars.
And Matt, I know you're involved with Club for the Future. I'm a Club for the Future ambassador as well, but you were saying something earlier before we got cut off by the package.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. One of the things about Club is that it is international. It's not, and so I have somebody from my team got a chance to connect with students in India and share that message, right? So this isn't just about at home or right around where all of our sites are. This is a chance to connect with people across the globe, share this message, have them send in postcards and participate in this. And it's great to see that it's not just something for the students, it's also something for the people at Blue. You saw so many of our employees there that this gives them a chance to give back and share with their communities.
That's right. There's also STEAM-based lesson plans. That's something that I've definitely told my niece about, and she's talked about with her school. It's very cool for being able to apply real-world problem solving. So definitely go over to clubforfuture.org, and you're going to learn so much more about everything that we do with Club for the Future. Again, you're watching NS-38. In this moment in time, we're waiting for capsule egress as our astronauts are currently inside, I'm sure, reminiscing about how special this experience was. And our CM7 crews are out there. And once our astronauts have egressed, Jake Mills is going to be chatting with them live. That's our CM7, crew member 7, Jake Mills. And of course, we're going to bring you that conversation as it happens. But while we wait for that moment, there's something else we'd like to share with you guys. This is a video that was created for our Blue Origin employees. When I saw it, when our crew here saw it, even when Matt saw it, he was like, oh, we got to share this with the webcast. So I think it really captures the heart of our mission and the vision behind everything that we do here at Blue Origin. And we hope it inspires you just as much as it inspires us all.
Earth is this unique gem of a planet which is completely irreplaceable. The Earth is finite. There is no plan B. We have to save this planet. And if the world economy and population is to keep expanding, space is the only way to go. If we move out into the solar system, we have unlimited resources. We can have 1 trillion humans in the solar system, which means we'd have 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. This would be an incredible civilization. And it's this generation's job to build that road to space so that the future generations can unleash their creativity. We're going to build a road to space, and then amazing things will happen.
And part of building that road to space is our new Shepard program. And you are currently tuned in to NS-38. We are watching for capsule egress. You can see the capsule there now. Our crew is safing the capsule. And again, the members of NS-38 are Tim Drexler, Linda Edwards, Alain Fernandez, Alberto Gutiérrez, Jim Hendren, and Laura Stiles. Now, while we're waiting, Matt, can you tell our teams a little bit more about kind of the recovery process for both the booster and the capsule?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're looking at the capsule right now. We mentioned the auto-safing sequence. They've gotten through all the grounding. We're working to get the power turned off on the capsule. The astronauts are getting that special moment to just share inside before we get the hatch open. And while all that's happening off camera, our recovery vehicle, our HEMIT, is heading out there. And once we're done with all the activities at the capsule, it'll get the capsule up on the bed of that HEMIT and drive it back to the hangar. That's what we call the building that we process all of our capsules in. And going on just a couple miles away at the landing pad for the propulsion module right now, it has its own auto-safing sequence. So it's going through, just like the capsule did, all of those steps to get it in a safe condition for what we call our red team, and a great ground crew that gets out to the propulsion module, gets commodities hooked back up to it, gets it in a place where we can start to offload the residual propellants. We can go through what's called inerting, which is where we make sure that there's no propellants left in the tanks, and we can proceed into the rest of the PM recovery operations.
Matt, can you also explain a little bit more about how we know where the capsule is going to land?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a lot of simulations. Again, we talked about those guidance, navigation, and control folks. And so we have an entire simulation that takes into account what the wind profile looks like on the way to space, what it looks like on the way back down. And they run those simulation models and then give us basically a dispersion of where the capsule might land. So that gives us a pretty good idea of where it might land. And then when we actually fly, when you're under those parachutes, you end up always somewhere in those dispersions that they give us.
Yeah, it is always great to know where it is. I noticed last time I was looking, I was like, wait, there's already kind of a road out there. And they're like, yeah, because we know exactly where the capsule is going to be landing every single time. In these kind of final moments before, you know, the hatch is open and we do see the astronauts egress, again, we are waiting because we are going to hear from the astronauts themselves live. You know, what is the crew doing that we can actually see on camera? I see we've set up a table there. I know that friends and family are on their way in.
Yep, so you see our parachutes there. So we've got folks staged to go and recover the parachutes. They'll be coming in another wave of people to go ahead and get those collected back to reusability, reuse all those parachutes for future flights. You see them staged there. They're gonna go into the capsule. They're gonna make sure that everything's cleaned up. They're gonna get some of the footage that we'll get a chance to share with people later and be able to get that back and processed. And again, they're preparing for that recovery vehicle coming out, getting it hooked up to the forward portion of that capsule, getting it on the recovery vehicle to head back to the hangar.
You can see our crews there waving to our astronauts that are inside the capsule right now. Again, the crew of NS-38 is Tim Drexler, Linda Edwards, Alain Fernandez, Alberto Gutiérrez, Jim Hendren, and Laura Stiles. We're going to take a moment. We're going to toss it over to the rocket, but don't go anywhere. We're going to toss it over to the capsule, of course. Now the capsule has landed, the booster has landed separately. Toss it over while we wait for egress, where you are going to hear directly from our astronauts on how this experience is affecting them.
Hey, we're back! Nice job, above and beyond. Can I get you anything in here before you come out? You good? Okay. Okay, we can bring a towel or some nausea medicine or anything in if you'd like. That was the thing. It was above and beyond. All right, we good?
Yep, we good though. Okay, well, I'll slowly get out.
Just if you feel anything, just let me know. I can bring stuff in here for you. All right?
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Wait till the end, or you can burp a little bit. That'll help get some of it. All right. Yep. Let's get it started. It's a pleasure flying with you. Oh, good to see you. Wow.
Woo, Jim! All right, Tim. Wow! Amazing.
Arrow will be good. I just don't want to bend over it.
Okay. Yeah, you look good.
I feel green, but okay.
Hey, give your pose. I'm going to take your GoPro off and do that one more time.
I think it didn't work, or I hit it or something, but I was so loopy, I couldn't have pictured anything, so it's okay.
Hey! He's still there. All right, let's go. Come on. Beautiful. Thank you.
Wow. 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 First shot. Yeah. Oh.
That's great, Laura, right here, man.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's incredible.
Everything you dreamed of, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to.
All right, guys, you are watching NS-38. We just saw our crew egress. That is the crew of Tim Drexler, Linda Edwards, Alain Fernandez, Alberto Gutiérrez, Jim Hendren, and Laura Stiles. An exciting day to go up and cross the Karman Line. In any moment, there we are. We've got our live interview.
The man from the moon that ignited this dream 30 years ago that just came true today.
Totally. I had to wait since 1992 to have that fantastic experience. You should see the deepness, the darkness of the infinity. Then you see the Earth. You feel the speed. The separation, it's wow, it's amazing, it really is wow.
And how about being weightless?
I went right away upside down, and you don't feel to be upside down, you feel the weightless, it pulls you up to the roof of the capsule. It's wow, exceptional, exceptional. And thank you to you.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations.
Yes,
astronaut, Alan.
Yes, yes, I'm very proud to be one of the 100.
Yeah.
One of the 100.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then, of course, was our Jake Mills, CM7, interviewing Alain Fernandez, as he mentioned, getting to float upside down and be excited. We have another interview coming up here. Let's go ahead and toss it back over to Jake.
Well, thank you. You spent so much time in the air, both as an Air Force pilot and a civilian pilot. How did this flight compare?
Nothing I've done compares with this, and I've done some, like you said, afterburners and supersonic, but nothing like this. This is unbelievable.
Yeah, you're no stranger to breaking the speed of sound.
No.
This time you're 3 times the speed of sound.
Yeah, and to my son, I would just like to say, Dad has the title again, so good luck.
There it is. Congratulations. Congratulations.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Jim Hendren, who is both a helo and airplane pilot. And finally, Laura Stiles.
You've dedicated your whole career to making this possible for so many people and everybody that's flown on New Shepard.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to go yourself today?
I mean, this has been, in the 2 short days that I've known this is going to happen, just the whole gamut of emotions of, you know, why isn't it Jake? Why isn't it? There's so many people who have worked so hard for so many years with all their heart, all their soul, and I got to be there for everybody today, and it's incredible. The ride is incredible. We taught this training so many times, and it was still like, oh my God, the G's and the movement and going through the clouds and the Earth against the blackness. We saw the moon.
Oh, wow.
Right at SEP, we saw the moon. And just things you can't have pictured or imagined what it would be like to be up there.
Well, Team Blue is in full force watching you right now. Do you have any message for them?
It's not the last tears they're going to see for me. Thank you so much. I'm so honored. I am feeling more love than I've ever felt in my life. And to be able to do something like that with all of these amazing coworkers and people, it's going to take a long time to process what just happened. But you guys,
amazing, Laura.
You guys are the
Congratulations.
best.
Way to represent Team Blue. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Should we find some more crew?
All right. Tim.
What was it? You're tearing up. I'm tearing up.
I am. Oh, no, that's really special.
Yeah, I mean, Laura, you were just such an incredible person. You were so deserving of this experience. And even in your interview there, just being able to share just such a raw emotion with us all on how beautiful that experience is, not just for you, but for everyone who gets to go. So we're all so honored that you flew today and get to share that with us. And for our entire crew, for all 6 of our astronauts, it has been such an honor to fly you to space today and back. Again, the crew we have is Tim Drexler, Linda Edwards, Alain Fernandez, Alberto Gutiérrez, Jim Hendren, and our own Laura Stiles. And for those of you dreaming about your own adventure after those interviews, I don't see how you couldn't be. You can experience yourself. You don't have to just watch it on the webcast. Go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen. Head over to blueorigin.com and click Fly to Space. Your own journey beyond the Karman Line is waiting, and it is so much closer than you think.
And if you want to hold a piece of today's launch in your hands, check out the Blue Origin shop for mission patches, gear, and more. Here's today's patch, the very one our astronauts proudly wore on their flight suits.
That's right. They've got lots of good gear. Even this jacket I'm wearing, check this out. You've got stuff like this where we've got the blueprints of, there you go, of New Glenn, New Shepard, of Lunar, all that. So from all of us here at Blue Origin, for myself, Matt Donovan, and the more than 10,000 employees who make these missions possible, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time and our next launch, remember, Gradatum Veroster.
All stations, this is flight deck for our shuttle. Booster. Go. Capsule. Go. Capsule. Go. New Shepard is go for launch.